Hi guys, it's MathMood, and today we're back with another video. Today we're going to be going over exponent rules. In this video, we'll be covering 4 out of the 8 rules. The first rule we're going to be going over is the product rule. The second one is the quotient rule. Third is the power rule. And fourth is the power of a product rule. We're going to go in depth on each of the 4 topics, so stay tuned. So the first exponent rule we're going to be looking at is the product rule. So let's say we have 2 to the x times 2 to the y. Because they have the same base, we're going to write 2 on the other side of the equal sign, and we're going to add the exponents because it's being multiplied. Let's say it's 2 to the second times 2 to the second. The base is 2, and we do 2 plus 2. And simplified, it would be 2 to the 4th power, which is 16. So remember, for product rule, if they have the same base and they're being multiplied by each other, you leave the base the same before you do anything else, and you add the exponents. And the sum of that is the power. Now the quotient rule is very similar to the product rule. If you have 2x divided by 2y, you leave the base the same, but instead of adding the x and y, you subtract the x and y. So if you have 2 to the 4th divided by 2 to the 2nd, it would equal 2 as the base and 4 minus 2, which would simplify to 2 to the 2nd power, simplifying further to 4. Remember, a to the x divided by a to the y equals a to the x minus y. Now let's look at the power rule. Let's say you have 2 to the x all to the power of y. To find the answer, you would simply multiply the exponents. Remember, leave the base the same, and it would be x times y. Let's say it's 2 to the 2nd power times 3. Leave the base the same, and it would be 2 times 3, which equals 64. A to the x to the power of y, leave the base the same, and multiply the 2 exponents. Last but not least, let's look at a power of a product rule. Let's say you have 2 numbers being multiplied by each other in parentheses, and you have x exponent outside. To simplify this, you would simply distribute the exponent to each one. So it'd be 2 to the x times 3 to the x. Now you may be wondering, would you add the exponents because you're multiplying, like in the product rule? For this problem, no, you wouldn't, because they don't have the same base. The only time you can use the product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rules is if they have the same base. Now, since these don't have the same base, let's say it's 2 times 3 to the 2nd, it would be 2 to the 2nd times 3 to the 2nd. You would multiply 3 times 2, so it's just 6, and each of them will go to the 2nd power. What's 6 times 6? 36, and that would be the answer. Now take the time to try some of these practice problems by yourself. Pause the video if needed. Okay, now let's solve them together. So for the first one, since you see a multiplication sign, you know you have to use a product rule. Since they have the same base, write 3 And now add the exponents. 3 plus 2, which would equal 3 to the 5th power, which equals 243. Now let's look at the second one. Now, since you see its quotient rule, you have to subtract the exponents. Same base, 2, and 4 minus 2. 2 to the 2nd power is 4. For the third one, you have to use power rule. 4 times 2 is 8. So 6 to the 8th power is 1,679,616. Now for the last one, you see there's only one exponent and 2 numbers inside, which means you have to use the power of a product rule and distribute the exponent to each one. 3 to the 2nd times 4 to the 2nd. And since they don't have the same base, you have to multiply their bases together. 4 times 3 is 12 to the 2nd power, and 12 to the 2nd power is 144. Now, if you got all of them right, really good job, and give yourself a pat on the back. But if you didn't, don't worry about it. Math takes a really long time to master. It's okay if you don't do the best the first time. Just keep practicing and you'll get the hang of it faster than you know it. Be sure to go back and review the 4 rules we practiced today and come back tomorrow for the next 4 rules. Really good job, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!